sense to you later. Right now, just don't sweat it, okay? So here's the thing. I have always been told that I'm good at writing, and although I've wanted to, I've never taken that sentiment all the way. I have pursued a career in creative storytelling, but it's been met with rejections, failure, and most recently, getting laid off. Well, I have a story I want to tell, and it's time to take matters into my own hands. It will be hard to stay committed, and it will be hard not to let imposter syndrome and comparisons hold me back. I know how to be creative, and it's time to take a shot at writing my very first novel. So this week, we'll see if my shot is the real deal. Can I do 10 to 15,000 words towards my very first novel in 1 week? Okay, so after hearing that, you might be wondering what the heck I'm thinking. Allow me to explain. There is a writing challenge that occurs in November called NaNoWriMo. NaNoWriMo requires participants to write about 1,600 words every day for a month, so that by the end of the month, they have 50,000 words towards their novel in just 1 month. And a novel, typically, depending on the genre and what you're aiming for, is somewhere around 70 to 110,000 words. So that could be the vast majority of your novel, maybe even your entire first draft if there's things you want to come back to later. So it's a great way to really just sink your toes, feet, hands, arms, whole body into your work and get some progress made on it. There's 2 issues with NaNoWriMo. Number 1, it requires a month-long commitment. That's a lot for me right now. I'm trying to just live freely in this unemployed stage of life, and I don't know if I want to tie myself down for a month. 2, NaNoWriMo traditionally occurs in November. My birthday's in November. I'm not going to torture myself my birth month. It's just not realistic. Number 3, although I have this idea to write this novel, I honestly don't know if it's going to come to fruition. A novel is a long process, typically about a year of work to get through all of your drafts, all of your edits, your beta readers, your editor, and maybe even start the publishing process, but honestly, even that is a whole beast of its own. It would be one of my longest long-term projects, and I'm just not sure if I can stay committed. So I think having a practice week where I not only make some good progress and get to a really pretty word count, but just see if this is even actually something I want to do would be much better for me than jumping full head first into a January NaNoWriMo. So it is going to be 1 full week of me, my super comfy clothes, this laptop, this brain, and my story coming into fruition. I hope that you guys will come along on the process, hold me accountable, and maybe use this as motivation to start your next project. You might not be unemployed, so you might not have 40 hours a week to yourself, but you still have a little bit of time. You know, maybe you can make your goal 5,000 words in a week. Or maybe if you're not much of a writer, you can suit a goal that works for your schedule and your big project. It's time to get creative, girlies. With that being said, if I'm ever gonna get this done, I've gotta get started. I am just going to head straight into Google Docs, start a new document, and get to it. I don't even have a title for this story yet. I've been calling it Project T because I don't know what to call it. So we will just title this doc. Project T Draft 1. So I have a Notion page with all of my planning documents, including my plot and what I hope to have happen, my character profiles, who everyone is and how they would react to things, my themes, research on my settings, so on and so forth. So I have that open in 1 tab, my Google Doc open in the 2nd tab, and now to get into the biggest challenge of them all, beginning. This is the hook. It is going to be the first thing that my readers see if they were to have a glance at my book or read the preview pages if they're buying it online or whatever. And it needs to be interesting. I need to be able to grab their attention and get them to actually want to read this based off of just 1 sentence. I'm not sure what that sentence should be. but I've got to write something. Hello. I decided to write by myself for a little bit and just focus in, but I've got my first 1,604 words, so we're pretty close to our 2,000 word goal for the day, and I'm liking my tone. It's a good play, I think, of seriousness and like lighthearted comedy, and that's kind of what I wanted. There was a time when this book was going to be a psychological thriller, but I just don't think that's my writing style, honestly. So I twisted it into more of a rom-com, but I still wanted some of those elements of like tension and, you know, this isn't all a joke, this isn't all a game, it's not all light and fun. So I think I've got a decent mix of that going here, and I'm hoping I can continue to elaborate on it throughout the rest of the story. But it's in a good place. Obviously, I don't think this is perfect. It's the first thing I've ever written for this book, but it's not bad. I think I'm doing okay, and I like where I'm going, and it's giving me ideas for my next section, which will be tomorrow's writing. So I think we're going good. Now I just gotta finish her up and bring it home for the day. Alright, and with that, we've reached the end of day 1 of this writing challenge. It's been maybe an hour and a half. I didn't look at the exact time when I started, but I know it was around 2, and it is now 3:39. So I'm gonna call this about an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes-ish of writing, and I have 2,295 words. We are well on our way to 10K and maybe even 15 with the way this is going. Hello, welcome to day 2. It has been such a lazy day today. I haven't done anything. I really don't feel like doing anything, but gotta get my writing done, and I think that'll be a good way to get me kind of going for the day and get me started on something productive. So, gonna do my writing now. I'm not as excited to write today because yesterday was the opening section of the book. I was excited to get in there and get started. Now we're moving through into a different part of the story that I haven't thought about as much. So I'm worried that what I write won't be good. So I kind of just don't want to write it, which is why we're doing this challenge, to avoid those feelings of if it's not perfect, then I'm not going to do it and force myself to do it anyway. But I figure if I'm doing this whole writing challenge and documenting everything for you guys, I may as well tell you what my story is about. So I don't want to spoil it because, when the book comes out, I'd love you all to read it, and there's no point in reading it if you already know what happens. But to give it a sort of rough definition of what T Story is about. By the way, I've decided to call it T Story instead of Project T because I usually call it that in my head. Is, I really am interested in psychology. So it's some of the information that I've learned about cycles of abuse, as well as self-worth and self-actualization, put into characters and told in what I believe to be is an interesting way. It's sort of like a rom-com slice of life thing, but it has some nefarious twists, so there's a little bit of seriousness to it, and it gets a little dark at times, but nothing too crazy. I kind of want to keep it light and airy for most. I'm gonna try. So here we go. So I know what I need to happen because I already planned it out in my little plot planning section of my Notion. I know what I need to happen. I just don't know how I want it to happen. And this was part of my decision in the planning process, was to kind of plan the story beats and like the important feelings and things, but not plan every single word so that I could have some freedom when I was writing. And while I enjoy the freedom, it's also like I gotta figure out what I'm doing. Right now, I don't exactly know. And the best way to get into it is to just force myself to start writing. So I'm just gonna reread these plot points and then get into it, figure something out. Alrighty then, ladies. And with that, we are done. Well, we are more than done, actually. Please focus. I'm begging you. Please. With that, we are more than done with day 2. I will see you tomorrow for day 3. Hello. It is day 4. You might be wondering, what happened to day 3? Well, yeah, didn't write anything yesterday. My car broke down. I had to go to the mechanic. The tow truck driver was it was a lot. It was a lot, and I just didn't get to writing. I'm sorry, but that means today I've got to make it up. We're not just going to throw yesterday in the trash. I'm going to make it up. So today I have to write 4,000 words. I also have a bunch of other stuff that I have to do, but I just went and picked up my car from the mechanic, and because I don't really trust myself to sit at home and do my work knowing that my bed is right over there, I am going to go out to a cafe today to not only do the other stuff I need to do, but write my 4,000 words. So I'm gonna pack up my stuff, get changed into something so I feel like a real person instead of this t-shirt, and we are gonna be well on our way. We're gonna double our word count today. Double. Really close to 10K. Like, it's giving very much gorgeous, gorgeous girls. So yeah, we gotta make up for yesterday. So let's get. I am about to have dinner by the TV. It is the end of day 4. And I did it. I actually went to Starbucks. I got a lot of work done. I managed to like figure out my insurance. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. And I wrote 4,000 words. You guys saw my word count. It was a great time. Around like the 6,000 word mark, honestly, I was ready to quit. I was ready to give it up and hang it up. Did not want to be there anymore, but I knew I needed to make my goal. And then I hit 8,000. I wanted to keep going. Hit 8,100. I wanted to keep going. Honestly, even when I stopped, I wanted to keep going. I reread a section and edited it a little bit and still wanted to keep going, but I knew if I kept going, I might not want to write tomorrow. So I don't want to ever do too much because then I won't want to write the next day, and I want to really keep this consistent with 7 days. So with that being said, tomorrow, I do have a lot to do. I hope I'm not writing in the middle of the night, but we shall see. It's day 5. It's 10:30 at night. I don't feel like writing, but I'm going to. Just because today we hit 10K and I've got to do it every day, and I already missed one day this week, so I'm gonna go at it. I wrote down some topics and things I can talk to you guys about, so let's see what I can talk about today. Just the worries I have. And that I worry, number 1, that I will not finish this project. Making a book is a really long-term project. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to hit 10,000 words, but I need to do that times 10, or at least times 8, to even finish the book. And then I need to go into 3 to 10 rounds of editing the whole thing. And it's just a very long, intense process. And for someone who's never done it, it is like a pretty big hurdle to climb. And I really want to tell this story. I think it can be really good and really interesting. But I've never done this before, and maybe I just am overestimating like how good at writing I am, and how good at editing I am, how much I know, how much I can do. Maybe I just have all these expectations for myself that are unrealistic. Not only in finishing the writing, but in making the writing good. Second concern, that I'll just make something that isn't even worth reading, you know, like art. I did art for, at least 8 years, you could call it.
more than that really, but at least 8 solid professional, like, people are paying for it years. And the things I made year 1 and the things I made year 8 are of different skill levels because you just get better with time. And it's not to say I didn't come out with some bangers year 1, but I also came up with some complete trash. And what if my novel was my year 1 trash, but it's a project that I end up spending months, years on just to end up with trash? It's just very daunting and very scary. And of course, issue number 3 is that I will finish it, and it will be good, and I will be proud of it, and I will want to share the story, and I will want people to read it, and no one will want to. It's kind of like an ongoing issue, concern with my career, just as an unemployed person, just the idea that I make work that no one really cares to engage with. And that I sit here and spend all this time working and learning and writing or drawing or whatever, just to make something to look pretty or tell a story or express myself or allow the people who engage with it to express themselves. And people pass it over. People don't really think it's what they're looking for. People never find out that it exists in the first place, and it never reaches the people it's supposed to reach. So I worry that I'll do this whole cumbersome process, and then either no one will benefit from the book, or the people that would benefit from it will never hear about it, never even get the chance to. So those are my worries, but I just keep writing because I want to. I want to see if I can do this. Arguably, even if no one reads the book, I kind of just want to write it. I've been thinking about doing a GoFundMe or a Patreon specifically for this project, but I don't know. It seems like a lot. I need a demo of some kind, and I don't know. But yeah, those are just my little night thoughts. I don't want to monetize everything that I do. I know I'm unemployed now, and I know I want to sell the book at some point simply because making books costs money, so I have to sell them to be able to sustain doing that. But I don't want every single thing I do to become monetized now that I'm unemployed. Sometimes you just do things because you want to do things. And right now, while the book isn't even finished with draft 1, we're just going to keep it mentally in the place of I'm doing this because I want to do this, and we're not going to move it into I'm doing this because I want people to care about it. So yeah, let's get to 10K. I just finished writing. It's 11:11. Make a wish. I'll show you so you can make a wish with me. Okay. I just finished writing chapter 4, and I don't like the end of it. But one thing that I'm trying to stick to is just keep moving forward. It's better to get the book written and then revisit why you don't like things after you've had some time away from things, instead of trying to painstaking over it now and never move past it or make any progress because I'm trying to make it perfect. So with the finishing of chapter 4, I actually reached a point in my plot plan where I had finished the hook and the background information, the exposition, if you will. So we're moving on into the inciting incident, which is when things start to get saucy. I'm aiming for Act 1 to be about 20,000 words. So I think, let's see, I'm at 9,000. So I'm about halfway through Act 1, just about. And I guess I'm about halfway through the things that are going to happen. So I guess I'm on track with Act 1 being the correct length. But yeah, I need to do another 1,000 words. I really don't want to, honestly. I want to just hang it up and call it a night. That was me closing the laptop. You can't see it. I want to just stop. But I'm going to keep going. I'm going to get my 2,000 words in today. So I just have to find the motivation to push forward. Writing video. Hello there. It is dark. I'm sorry. It's 9 p.m. I really can turn. It's 9 p.m. I don't feel like writing tonight. I just kind of want to hang it up because I went to the store today and that was all of the energy I had. Went to going to the store, but I've decided I do want to get 1,500 words this first week. So it's day 6 and at 10,000. That means today I need to write, I have a remaining 5,000. So today I need to write 2,500. I put my laptop up on top of a box just So then I'm not looking down for 2 hours again. And I'm just gonna try and knock this out, like knock, because I don't want to be doing this. So let's get it done. Hello again and welcome to the final day of my week-long mini NaNoWriMo writing challenge, day 7. Today we are starting with about 1,300 words, and my goal is to get to 13,000 words. And my goal is to get to 15,000. It's kind of insane to be saying that. Kind of insane that in one singular week I've written what will soon be over 20 pages and 15,000 words towards my first novel. It's kind of crazy how quickly it came together. Like, I really thought writing it would take a lot longer than this. If I did another one of these weeks, then I would be done with Act 1 in another like 3 or 4 days. Just done with a whole third section of the book. Act 2 is the longest, but like, you get the idea. Done with like a fourth of the book in 2 weeks. That's insane. There's still definitely a lot that needs to be done. Obviously, I have to finish writing the book. I can already see things that I'm going to need to edit, and I'm sure that there are things that need to get edited that will jump out at me as we go. You know, I've been doing my research, and some authors have like an average of 3 to 10 drafts of their novel before it's ready to go. And I can see why as I'm writing draft 1. But I'm just very excited to see this story come together. I'm thinking about doing a NaNoWriMo month, where for the full month I write 1,600 words a day and at the end of the month I will have another 50,000, plus the 15 I've already written. That's 75, is it 65,000 words? No, yeah, I can't do math. This is why I'm a writer. Math is so not my deal. But just to, you know, really push the story forward, maybe I'll do that in like the last 50,000 words to finish the book in a month. That would be exciting. That would be a lot though. I don't know. But I'm very excited, honestly, to go on to editing. Even though I'm not even close to done with writing, I'm excited. So the fact that I'm interested in the next stages of the process are really good to show, in my opinion, that maybe, just maybe, I'll care about finishing this book. And as far as being unemployed goes, this is kind of giving me motivation in a way, because I'm thinking about, you know, publishing and applying for grants. If I want to go the self-publishing route, if I want to try and find an agent, I think about all the people I'll have to contact, all the emails I have to send, all the things I will have to do to get this book on shelves someday. And I just think about planning that, and like in between draft edits, I can spend some time thinking about publishing so that I can, you know, I've just been thinking a lot. And all that thinking has had me thinking about the future. And with thinking about the future comes not just my book, but also my career. And it's kind of made me think like, maybe I'm ready to start sending emails and applying to things. If I can apply to a grant, I can apply to a job, you know? So it's getting me a little bit forward, I suppose. With all that being said, I'm ready to get into writing. We just have our last little, honestly less than 2,000 words, because I wrote more than I was supposed to yesterday. So our last little couple of words, and then we will be well on our way to the end of Act 1 with 15,000 words in my novel. It's insane. Insane. So yeah, let's set the mood and get started.
there you have it. I am ending week 1 with 15,165 whole entire words written, typed, saved, and delivered to Google Docs for my first ever novel. It's the middle of the night and I don't like how my video footage tends to look at night, so I'll finish talking about this in the morning. Good morning. It is the day after I reached my 15,000 word goal. It's kind of insane to have written 15,000 words, like, especially coming out of schooling where, you know, the 3,000 word essay was like a big deal. I just wrote 5 times that for fun, and it really was fun. And I thought that I would want to take a break today or for the next couple of days, but honestly, I'm ready to get back at it. Maybe my goal will be 1,000 words instead of 2,000, but I'm ready to write today. So clearly, I'm having a fun time with this project, and I'm excited to plan Act 2 a bit more in depth. Like, I'm just excited for what's to come. So, I don't know, girl, if you thought that was all, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I really think this novel project could actually get done because I really seem to enjoy doing it. Have you guys ever taken on a long-term project like this, and how did it go for you? If you are a writer, how many words did you put out this week? Because I put out 15,000, so, you know, just saying. But at the end of the day, it's not a competition. We all move at our own paces. Don't feel bad if you can't achieve these same results, but maybe take this week and push yourself towards one of the goals that you've been putting off or maybe not been able to dedicate as much time to. Just give yourself a daily goal, go at it, and see how long and how far a week can take you. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you on the next one. Click some of my links as they appear on the screen. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a like, a comment, and a subscribe because it would really help my channel. And I will see you guys all next time. Until then, toodaloo.